Hello and welcome to Rating the Piklopedia. I'm your host, Snoozy. I am setting out to rank the very best entries in the Piklopedia of Pikmin 4, the best video game ever made. Every creature in that game is given a lot of details, such as their scientific name, behavioral analysis, even instructions on cooking and eating them. And I'll be reading through every entry and deciding which ones are the most interesting and funny. I am not rating the creatures themselves, and please keep in mind that there might be profanity or spoilers in this video series. Today is the second episode, and we have the second creature in the Piklopedia, the albino dwarf Bulborb, Oculus Kageyami larva. Now, I know that in the last video we had the regular dwarf Bulborb, and I talked about how they are mimics. This is the actual authentic juvenile version of Bulborbs. They actually don't develop those red spots until later. So let's see our Piklopedia entries. Starting with Dalmo. Among all the naturally charming dwarf bulborbs, this one might have the most attractive and well-balanced conformation. When night falls, the eyes of these fascinating creatures emit an intense glow. Whether to mesmerize prey or help it to spot others of its kind, it's an intriguing adaptation. I could stare into those shining eyes forever. All right, kind of a clunker from Delmo, I'm not going to lie, because here's the thing about Pikmin 4. When you do the nighttime missions, they do have glowing red eyes, but every enemy does. That's not an albino dwarf Bulborb thing. I think they are probably one of the first enemies you fight in the night missions, but this is not an adaptation specific to these creatures. And I don't know, I feel like they could have done more with like the albino coloration or something like that. This was a bit of a miss for me. All right, moving to Captain Olimar's behavioral analysis or scientific analysis. A Bulborb larva after its first molt. Due to its pale coloration, it was assumed to be a mimic when it was first discovered. Here I am. It was later confirmed to be a true dwarf Bulborb. To avoid predation from adult Bulborbs, it spends the majority of daytime hours hiding underground. It becomes more active at night when its paler coloration is more difficult to see. So its own parents, its own adults will try to eat it? Woof. Okay, I'm kind of feeling bad about gassing up the dwarf bulborbs in the last video because I think they might be really messing things up, like cowbirds do, really. Um, it spends the majority of its daytime hours hiding underground. It becomes more active at night when its paler coloration is more difficult to see. In this state, it is difficult to discern what species of bulborb any given juvenile may be by appearance alone. It is only after a bulborb's second molt they start to display more distinguishing species characteristics. Yeah, so this is the juvenile for all the different types of bulborbs. They grow into regular bulborb, orange bulborb, I think even bull bears or whip tongues later after they've grown more, which is an interesting fact. And it is also very interesting that they'll get eaten by their own families. So they have to hide underground and then come out at night. I mean, I guess that kind of makes Dalmo's thing a little bit more noteworthy because you can probably only see them at night. They're hiding otherwise. That's fucked up. I'll say it. First swear of the video series. That's fucked up. Peel off the skin. This is what I'm talking about, Pikmin 4. This is what I'm talking about. You make them feel bad for these guys. It's like, man, they have it really rough. They gotta hide underground and come out into the cover of darkness because if their own mom sees their skin, they will think it's prey and eat it. And then you go to Captain Louis, bring us home, peel off the skin, starting at the tail end, and then slice thinly and boil in a pot of heavily salted water. Serve immediately. Like serve immediately as a detail too. That's great. Oh, this is awesome. Now I will say, once again, does not sound appetizing. I mean, he mentions, I mean, I guess it's heavily salted water, but no seasonings or anything. You're just slicing it up and then boiling it. And I mean, just putting a bunch of boiled meat on a plate and serve immediately. So it's, oh, that doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good, but it sounds funny. Oh, okay, I mean, this Pikipedia entry 100% changes the way you view this enemy. So I think it's got to get points for being interesting, and it certainly gets points for being funny. I mean, peel off the skin is such a gruesome way to describe that, and so cold, which is what we love about Louis. And so I'm going to give this one, oh, it's got to be strong. I mean, I got to leave room because there's certainly area to grow. I'm gonna go 8.5. I'm gonna go 8.5. That leaves us 1.5 room, to grow into over the next 100 plus videos. But this one's good. This one's good. So Louis, go over there. Let's pull up our ranking list. So this moves Dwarf Bulborb down to the second spot. With an 8.5, we have the Albino Dwarf Bulborb. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. We got a list. And that concludes our video. Thank you so much for watching.